Hi guys, welcome to Smooth's Workshop. Right, going to get my mojo back up and going. I thought I would maybe get my hands on some kits and that'll get me going. Right, going to do a review of Tamiya's 1/12 scale GPZ400R. It was released in 1986 as a first tooling. There's been no revision since. It is still available on eBay and you can get it from Japan, but it is no longer in production. This box has a little bit of shelf wear on it, but I mean, what do you expect? It's a basic kit, another basic kit in the range. A lot of their early bikes were basic kits. It's number 45 in the range, or the part number 14045. Again, with it being a basic kit, when they were released, they were about £13. Don't pay more than £20 for this. It is a basic kit. Going on, open the box. As is normal with Tamiya kits, you get your instructions, and I'll just pull the light across a bit. And what I'll do is it gives you a basic bit of blurb about the bike. I'll hold that steady, so if you want to freeze frame it and read all the bump, whatever, about the bike, now's the time to do so. So that's that. Standard Tamiya instructions. I'll just give us a wee fold. I haven't actually opened this since I bought it. Oh, that's my compressor firing on there. Yes, right, okay. Standard Tamiya build order. Start building the engine, putting the engine components together. When I actually go to do the build on this, I'll discuss the painting order, but I mean, their usual one: assemble the engine components on, put the carburetors on, put the side panels on, water pump, other ancillary parts. Next page. Usual, build up the rear swing arm, rear suspension, wheels, tyres, brake discs. Tells you about putting the rear damper on there. Two-part frame on this one, so unfortunately the frame's got to get painted in two separate halves, and then encase around the engine, then the usual rear mudguard on, then the rear suspension together, rear suspension added into the bike. You'll get used to this with the Tamiya bikes, they're all pretty much the same build order. Radiator together, exhaust together, fitting the four downpipes and exhaust to the bike along with a couple other wee parts, putting the radiator on and the hoses, centre stand, foot pegs, their airbox, rear indicators. Really basic kit. Shows you there some decal application after you've done the painting of the. It's a two halves, but it's your tank and your front cowling and your rear cowling's all one piece, and it goes together in two halves. Shows you putting the airbox in, rear indicators on, the rest of the foot pegs, how to put the two parts together. If you're right, okay, I'm just looking at this for instructions. Right, the seat's two parts on this, so you can either make it so that it's a twin seat, or you can put the cowling on instead. It then shows you fitting these parts to the bike. Really basic kit. We then go on to the two front fairing halves and cowling, inner cowling parts, speedometer, headlight, attaching that to the bike, decals. Then it tells you to put the front wheel and tyre and brake discs and everything together. They call it a fender for Americans. Front mudguard, forks together, mudguard on, wheel on, where all the brake lines go, putting the mirrors together, and then putting that into the bike, and then along with the front screen and everything. Really basic kit, so I'm not going to spend hours and hours on the instructions on this. Then it gives you all your decal callouts. There's the paint colours if you want to freeze that and read them. Not a lot. Again, it's telling me to use a Tamiya paint marker, chrome silver X11. That's not available anymore. Yeah, so basic and concise instructions. Onto the sprues. Again, usual. They're all in bags. Stapled together. I'll just get rid of this staple before it scratches anything or pierces my finger, which is the usual one. Again, what I don't like about this is if they've put the clear parts in with another sprue, and I'll just get myself a pointy stick. It's caused some scratching, so that will need to get dipped and cleared before it goes on. But there's not many clear parts. You've got the front screen, the headlight, the rear brake light and 4 indicators. They're all quite crisply moulded, and they've got quite good optics on them. As we look in the light, it doesn't look like a lump of plastic. It actually looks not bad, and with a wee dip and clear, that'll be fine. Chrome parts, yuck yuck. The only one I would keep on this would be the headlight bezel, possibly the mirror inserts. The front forks, I've got a seam line running all the way up and down them, so that chrome will need stripped off and repainted. The exhausts, although they do the rear silencers, they don't actually undercut this one. Oh, bad Tamiya. They used to undercut where the moulding gates go on. They haven't on this one. So it doesn't matter what you do, even if you try and do a really neat job of cutting that, you're going to have gate marks when you cut it off. So the chrome will need to get stripped off of these rear silencers, and it will need to get painted up. So yeah, quite a bit of flash on it. So yeah, early kits tend to have a bit of flash, a bit of seam lines, to be expected. I mean, the kit is 1986. Next bag of sprues on this one. They don't tend to put two different sprues nowadays in the bag together. But as this is an older kit, so we have two other sprues here. Quite soft plastic. This is sprue B. I'm just trying to see if there's any info on this. Yeah, that's tooled in 1985. Little bit of flash here and there. It's that horrible soft white plastic. It marks really easily, but so just be careful when you're dressing it up. Level of detail is not bad. It's quite crisp. A little bit of flash here and there, but nothing major. And all the ejector pin marks are on the inside of that sprue. Next one here is sprue C. Right, it doesn't tell you a date for that one, but again, it's a 1986 kit. And on this one, you have both halves of the rear suspension, 4 carburetors. Good to see that they haven't done the carbs and everything with chrome on them, because on the real bike they're aluminium. The same, the rear swing arm's normal aluminium, and the frame on this is aluminium as well. Nice to see that it's just bare plastic. There's a rocker cover there, bottom yoke, top yoke, gear lever, couple of engine casings. Seam lines on the frame to take care of. Nice level of detail. And considering it's an 80s kit, and a wee bit of flash here and there, but it's nothing major, so quite a good thumbs up for that, because it's a 1986 kit. So that's that one. There's not really a lot of sprues and parts to these kits, with it being a basic kit, but I do like to let people know what's inside the box. GPZ400 is the baby one of the GPZ900, and then you go on to the GPZ1000 and the 1100. Excuse me, I'm just putting these back in the bags to keep them good, because I'm not building it just now. Round about that time in the 80s was when they changed the learner bikes. You know, you were allowed at one point you basically did your test on the 250 and you could go into anything. there was a series of 400s. You were allowed to ride a 400 for a while, which is why there was a lot of 400 bikes came out. And then they've reduced it to 250, and then the modern day one they've reduced it to 125s. So that's that. Standard bag with 3 screws in it, which will be the steering yoke and the back wheel and the front wheel. A couple of synthetic rubber tyres, Dunlop, Aeromax, even has a size in them, and directional arrows on them, so the detail on them is quite nice. A little bit of flash, a wee bit of dressing up to make them look like real tyres, but yeah, nice set of rubber. We've got the usual vinyl tubing. The thick stuff is for your radiator, and the thinner stuff is for your brake lines. So that's standard. No screwdriver with this early kit. It's flat-headed screws rather than your standard Phillips ones that you get now. So that's that little bag. Try to keep these reviews a bit shorter because I used to waffle on and waffle on. No need, most of these bikes are the same. It's just really letting you see what's in the kit. So we come on to the final bag of sprues, or a sprue I should say. Annoying thing about this one is they put the decals in with it. Decals are not cartograph, and they are the thick Tamiya ones. These ones were actually manufactured in 1997. But they're clear enough, crisp enough. They appear in register, although the Speedo ones, where's my pointy stick? Oh, there it is. The Speedo ones are slightly off centre of the, you get like a clear film around each decal, and that's the ones that we use all the solvent and that to get rid of. They're slightly off centre, but they're clear and crisp enough. In good condition for the age of the kit, and considering that these weren't wrapped up in a separate bag, which is a bugbear of mine. Normally there's a greaseproof paper layer in a plastic bag and it's sealed. So they've survived quite well. The final sprue is sprue A, the black plastic. It has wheels on it, 2 engine halves, brake and clutch levers, handlebars, rear suspension unit, oil cooler, indicators, front mirrors, rear indicators, left and right halves of the airbox, left casing, right casing, centre stand, upper crankcase, lower crankcase, chain guard, that's collector pipes for the rear silencers. That looks like that's the rear seat part. One of them's a cowl, one of them's a seat part. That's the front seat part, that's the rear seat part. I think there's a cowl on the, it's on the white plastics. So that's actually the seat part. That's the inside of the front fairing. Chain and sprocket detail is actually very nice. Quite a few ejector pin marks on the rear side of it, but nothing too major. Airbox parts, spark and Z plugins, a water pump, radiator. So it's actually quite crisp detail. That a little bit of flash here and there, nothing major. All the ejector pin marks appear to be on the rear of the parts, and tiny little bit of flash to take care of, but all in all, really nice kit from 1986. And all the other thing that's in the box is, if you can speak Japanese, has Japanese instructions and important information. Learn how to build a model. Right, okay. So, and that's it. Very brief, quick run through. All bikes are basically the same. It's a base kit. Don't pay more than 20 quid for it. You will have a wee bit of clean up. You will have some seam lines and tiny little bits of flash to do, but they go together seamlessly. And even though the decals are old and thick and are the Tamiya ones, they're not that large, so there shouldn't be too many problems with conforming in that. So that was a very quick and brief in-box review of the Kawasaki GPZ400R from 1986. in Tamiya's 1/12 scale bike range. So, until the next review, see you later. Bye!